Welcome in. Thanks for stopping by again on such short notice. Today we've got another quick edition of IDP. We have a lot of kind of psychedelic music this week for some reason. So some psychedelic rock, some post-punk / indie rock, and we've also got some dream pop in there as well. So recently we did have the appeal to, pound hard on the thumbs down button. I don't know when that was, a few weeks ago. We just really didn't get enough hard pounding of the thumbs down button, just not enough. So once again, if you wouldn't mind giving your thumbs down button a nice hard pounding, it would really help us out and really could be what saves this channel. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Today, up first, we have the second full-length release for a psychedelic rock side project / supergroup. I think they don't like to be called a supergroup, but I think they are often considered a supergroup. They're called MIEN, which is spelled M-I-E-N, and their second LP is titled M-I-I-E-N. So I don't know if that's meant to be MIEN 2 or just a clever way to have their second album titled. So the band MIEN is Alex Moss of the Texas psychedelic rock band The Black Angels. It also features, I believe, Danish electronic music or electronic producer Trent Moeller. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Also Rishi Deer, who I'm also probably saying wrong, of the Montreal band Elephant Stone. It's also John Mark Lapham, I'm also probably saying wrong, of the band The Earlies, and Rob Kidd. He's in the Golden Dawn Orchestra. This is psychedelic rock melded with like electronic krautrock. Has elements of like garagey fuzz rock in there a little bit as well, and some synth pop as well. Has what I would consider very strong similarities to the Liverpool band Clinic. The first time I listened to this through, I kept thinking like, who is this? Who is this? Who is it? Like, who is it reminding me of? And it very much strong Clinic vibes. Very, very hypnotic, droney grooves. It's retro and modern. Has a lot of South Asian vibes with Rishi's sitar. He plays sitar on here. That's heard prominently in a number of spots. You also definitely hear, I think, a lot of the like more out there Velvet Underground influences on here as well. It's definitely a trippy journey, but I think one that will appeal to some folks out there. So once again, the name of the band is MIEN. That's how I'm saying it, M-I-E-N. And their second album, which is out on Fuzz Club Records, is called MIEN, M-I-I-E-N. All right, up next we have another sophomore LP. This is the second release for a duo out of New Orleans called The Convenience. And this album is titled Like Cartoon Vampires. It's out on Winspear. This is fun, funky post-punk, I would say, with fairly bleak lyricism. It's smart, nervy, cool. I think the first analog, the first like similar band that comes to mind is Parquet Quartz. Maybe a little less accessible than someone like Parquet Quartz, but you definitely hear a bit of that. I also hear shades of bands like Art Brut, Spoon for sure, Wire for sure, The Stranglers, stuff like that, etc. So funky indie rock / post-punk with some electronic flourishes as well. It is adventurous. Like for instance, the last track, which I think is quite good, but it's like a sprawling 10-minute song. But it definitely rocks overall. The album rocks overall in what I think is a fairly accessible way. Yeah, just a fun rock and roll album from the Big Easy. Again, the name of the band is The Convenience, and their second LP is titled Like Cartoon Vampires.
Exactly what I wanted.
All right, next up, this is the third full-length release, I believe, the third full-length release for a Seattle dream pop group. They're called Fotoform, Fotoform, and the name of their album is Grief is a Garden Forever in Bloom. This one is ethereal post-punk / new wave / dream pop. I think dream pop and maybe even like dark wave, you could say. The lead vocalist has this kind of haunting, ethereal vocal style. I'd say the songs are fairly dark. It's dealing with things like grief, loss, longing, helplessness. You definitely hear the influence of the Cocteau Twins, Lush, maybe a bit of Slowdive, Pale Saints, the Rudy Column, His Name is Alive, you know, that kind of ballpark. If you're looking for a bit of that kind of dark, bleak dream pop with a fair bit of classic 1980s UK indie feeling, this is worth giving a spin. That is the Seattle group, Fotoform, and the LP is titled Grief is a Garden Forever in Bloom. Next, we have the latest LP for the Montreal, Quebec power trio that go by the name Population 2. This album is titled Maintenant, Jamais, which says, I think, French for now, never, and 100% I'm pronouncing it correctly. But that's out now on Bonsound Records. So I imagine the band is named after the great Randy Holden LP, Population 2. This is heavy psychedelic rock with elements of krautrock, fusion jazz, and a pretty big pinch of prog rock in there as well. The vocals, I believe, are 100% in French, so you're going to want to keep that in mind if you can't deal with non-English vocals. Previously, I've only heard the debut album from Population 2, which came out in 2020, which was out on Castleface. I think there was another album that I don't think I've heard. I think this one might be more accessible, I think, than to that debut release, but it's still a pretty wild ride. I think the vocals could be a deal breaker, certainly for some people, not just because of the language, but there's some of them are maybe a bit twee sounding which seems a little out of step. Yeah, fans of kind of heady, heavy psychedelic rock with kind of proggy tendencies might dig this one. You like mid to late 70s Pink Floyd, perhaps. In the right headspace, I do find this one to be quite enjoyable. So anyway, that is Population 2, Roman numeral 2 on that 2. And the way I butchered the name of this album is Maintenant, Jamais. It's out on Bonsound Records.
Jamais je ne